Welcome to the Elite Leader Insights podcast, where leadership isn't theory, it's transformation in motion.
Each week, we dive into the strategies, stories, and systems behind modern leadership excellence, drawn directly from the Elite Leader Insights newsletter, written by Donald C. Kunkel Jr.
He's the founder of the Elite Leadership Center, author of The Foundations of Influence, The Power to Lead and Inspire, and the creator of the TECA Influence System, an automated cradle-to-grave leadership assessment and coaching tool for actionable growth.
If you're ready to lead with clarity, build trust, and influence with purpose, you're in the right place.
Okay, so today we're unpacking a really crucial insight from Kunkel's work. It's this idea that, a thriving culture isn't just built on good intentions or like big mission statements.
Not just posters on the wall.
Exactly. It's forged really through repetition, through those small, consistent actions that build up.
Yeah, they create that ripple effect he talks about.
He mentioned this team turnaround he led, and it wasn't some, massive, complex strategy change.
No, it was the fundamentals.
It was consistently applying the basics that made the real difference.
That's spot on. And it's something leaders, I think, sometimes overlook, how much they shape culture through these everyday actions. You can have, like, the most talented team, incredibly skilled people.
Yeah.
But if that alignment isn't there, if the daily stuff doesn't match the talk, performance just tanks.
Right.
Kunkel's point is that sticking to those fundamentals consistently, day after day, that's the real engine here. Building habits, not just saying goals.
That makes a lot of sense. It grounds the whole idea of culture.
Yeah.
So thinking about that turnaround, he identified, 5 core commitments?
Yeah, 5 key things for any real culture shift.
Okay, like hiring people who actually live the values you talk about.
Crucial.
Setting really clear expectations right from the start, day one.
Yep. No ambiguity.
Giving feedback that's timely, respectful, and actually useful. Real feedback.
Not just checking a box.
Holding people accountable, but without making it about ego.
That's a big one.
And maybe the most important, modeling the behavior you want to see yourself.
Absolutely. And, it's fascinating how culture can just drift.
Yeah.
When leaders kind of miss those moments. Or maybe they shy away from the tough stuff.
Avoidance.
Right. But it shifts, sometimes really fast when they lean in, with consistency, with clarity. Which brings us to that phrase Kunkel uses. It's powerful.
Which one?
What you permit, you perpetuate.
Oof. Yeah. That hits home.
It really does. It's a reminder that doing nothing is doing something. Your silence speaks volumes.
So if you want that stronger culture, it's less about slogans.
Definitely.
And more about structure, consistency, and, frankly, courage from leadership.
That's it.
So what are the practical, everyday best practices for that?
Okay, so Kunkel lays out 5 really actionable practices. First, hire for culture, then use onboarding to really cement it.
Starts before day one, you mean?
Exactly. Think about this. Gallup stat employees with intentional onboarding are 2.6 times more likely to be extremely satisfied.
Wow, 2.6 times.
Yeah. And this isn't just HR paperwork. It's about embedding the culture, the expectations, right from the get-go.
Yeah.
You're fighting that early potential disconnect.
So you're filling a culture gap, not just a job description.
Precisely. You're addressing a cultural need.
Okay, that makes sense. What's next for building that foundation?
Second, make feedback a daily leadership discipline. It's basically the language of leadership, right? Zanger and Folkman found that people getting frequent, high-quality feedback are up to 3 times more engaged.
3 times? That's huge.
It is. It shows it's not just about pointing out mistakes. It's about continuous, respectful, future-focused talk. It fuels engagement, keeps things on track.
And coaching fits right in there with that future focus.
Absolutely. Which is number 3, coach before you correct.
Yeah.
It's easy to just jump to correction.
Default mode sometimes.
Right. But Kunkel pushes us, and McKinsey research backs this up. Companies that embed coaching just perform better. Engagement, retention, agility, all of it.
So reframe correction as a coaching moment.
Exactly. Shift from you messed up to, okay, how can we grow from this? That's transformative for everyone, not just the stars. Kunkel suggests asking better questions like, what's one thing you're working on improving this month?
I like that. It's developmental, not punitive. Okay, so you're coaching, but how do you make sure things actually stick?
Number 4, enforce accountability without ego. Accountability isn't punishment. It's showing the standard matters.
Right. This is what we expect.
Yeah. Cameron and Quinn pointed out thriving cultures need clear expectations and leadership consistency. Don't wait for the formal review to address slippage.
Deal with it early.
Yes, realign what's off quickly and respectfully.
Okay. And the last one, developing people.
Number 5, make development an everyday investment. High-performing places design development right into the daily work.
Not just sending people off to training once a year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Center for Creative Leadership found leaders who model learning create learning cultures. So use your meetings, your one-on-ones, your project reviews for micro-development.
Little teaching moments.
Small, consistent opportunities to teach, stretch, challenge, weave growth into the everyday.
This all circles back to that core idea, doesn't it? Leadership isn't what you say. It's really defined by what you permit.
That's the heart of it.
If you want to know what a leader truly values, don't just read the mission statement.
Nope.
Look at what they tolerate day to day. Because every time you stay silent, delay that hard conversation, excuse poor behavior,
You're teaching it.
you're implicitly saying, this is okay here. You're teaching that it's acceptable.
You permit it. You perpetuate it.
So for your weekly challenge this time around, maybe take a moment. Ask yourself honestly, where might you be reinforcing the wrong culture just by staying silent?
Good question.
What behavior needs your voice? What standard, maybe one that slipped a bit, needs to be raised, not lowered?
Those questions cut right to the chase, don't they?
Yeah.
It's about your personal leadership growth, your influence.
Because, like Kunkel says,
What you permit, you perpetuate. That's the bottom line.
thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Elite Leader Insights podcast. If today's message challenged how you think about culture, leadership, or growth, take the next step. Visit EliteLeadershipCenter.com to access free leadership development tools.
And take the TECA Influence Assessment to receive your personalized TECA Power Profile. You'll gain insight into how you naturally influence others, along with blind spot awareness and actionable coaching prompts delivered straight to your inbox.
If this episode brought value, consider liking, sharing, or leaving a comment. We'd love to hear what stood out to you.
Until next week, remember,
Leadership is influence in action, every day, in every relationship.
let's build it together.